You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us. But it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. I feel like we should start with, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
We're so sorry. How's it going, Carrie?
We got a little busy and we didn't have enough time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like I know what happened. It just got crazy.
Yeah.
And we were traveling and we were like, I'm trying to even remember our last podcast.
I don't remember. We're here now. Let's put this glass half full.
Okay, let's do that. So we're sorry that we missed a couple weeks, but we're back now, and we got to get caught up on everything that we've been doing, and
a whole bunch of stuff.
A whole bunch of stuff happened in the meantime. So I know we talked
about a month.
I know, but it was a crazy travel month, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And so we've had some adventures together and then separate.
And it's only been a month.
So why don't we start with our adventures together?
Right.
Well, considering that was the first one, so it kind of makes sense if we do it in chronological order, right?
Right. Yes.
So our first adventure that we got to go to together was Carrie and I attended the EarMarked Summit, which is for travel agencies that work with Disney, and a great conference held in the motherland for Carrie at Disneyland.
Disneyland. It's only at Disneyland every so often, so
it was pretty cool.
It was good to be at Disney, but it was busy. We didn't get to spend a lot of time in the parks. That's the problem.
Yeah, and so we flew down. It was funny because we both booked our flights and we didn't realize that we had both booked the same flight. So we were on the same flight down, which was great. So then we could also share the car ride to Disney. Did I pay you for that?
Yep.
I did. Okay, yeah. See, the panic sets in. You know what that happens? And then you're like, oh my gosh. And that was fantastic because we stopped at a Walmart on the way to pick up supplies.
Because we definitely took advantage of that because the private transfers in California from Disneyland, from the airport to Disneyland, is very expensive.
Yes.
And there's no like cheapo shuttle anymore. But I shouldn't say but Uber and Lyft seem to be creeping up in pricing too.
Yes.
So it's like a lose situation if you fly into LAX, getting to Disneyland nowadays. So yeah, it was nice to have that private transfer.
It was, and it was a comfortable car. It's a long ride. Like it's a long ride, and if you're not in a comfortable car and you get stuck in traffic, it can feel even longer.
Yeah, and we stopped at a Walmart to buy. They allowed a complimentary 30-minute grocery stop, so we took advantage of that.
We did, which was fantastic. So I, of course, got some water. Shocking what I bought. I know. So we got to Disneyland and we were a day early. So we were a day early for the event. You checked in. So the event was at the Disneyland Resort. That's where they were putting us up. So you checked into the Disneyland Resort.
Yes.
And I did a night at the DVC Tower.
The fancy tower.
The fancy tower. You know what? It was lovely. The room was beautiful. I love the Sleeping Beauty theme. It's nice when they have like it's for the OG princess. I like the new princesses, of course, but the OGs don't get enough love, I feel. So the room was beautiful. It was big. It was nice. And it was just one night. So that was fun. And then, the next day conference starts and then it's busy, busy, busy. And I moved over to the Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah. Did. The Disneyland Hotel, like my room was like I was in the no, I was in the Frontier Tower
You were in Frontier, I was in Adventure.
and you were in Adventure. And every time I've stayed there, I've always been in the Fantasyland Tower. And I kind
Yes.
of always complain because I'm always like in the standard room. I'm always like on the floor, like on floor four, which is like the next floor up. Like I'm never high. I'm usually overlooking like the check-in
Yeah.
car Uber area. And I didn't get that this time, but I kind of wish I did because that's where the conference was in that building. Plus, my room was a lot smaller than
Mm,
the one I usually have. I don't know. I thought that all the rooms were the same, but the rooms I've always had a couch and a bit of an open area, and my room was kind of small. So
yeah.
I wished for a different building, and then I was like, "What's this?" Because I had my mom staying with me. My mom came to the conference, well, not to the conference, to Disneyland. And I knew she was going to be spending a couple days hanging out in the room. So in my head, I had pictured the old,
The,
like the regular room that I had that
the
would have a little
couch
bit
and
more
all the,
space and the couch and, perhaps a table maybe to do a puzzle at or something. And, our room was kind of small-ish.
yeah.
Like whatever. It's their rooms are bigger just generally than some other hotels, but it wasn't the big room that I experienced.
Yeah. But I
Not
got the
really
big room.
complaining, but you got a big room, yeah.
I got the one with
So,
the couch and everything.
but the rooms there are so nice. They have like the headboard with the
Yeah.
castle, and they play the music, and it is a lovely place to stay. I always like that resort because it feels like a resort, like with the pool and the restaurants and the way that it's landscaped. Like it really feels like you're at a resort and not just a hotel.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It was, and you know what? It's such a lovely hotel, and it was perfect for us. The conference was there in the convention center attached to the hotel. So it was perfect for us. But you're right. Like we didn't get a lot of park time. It was events and dinners and presentations and things like that. So there really wasn't a ton of time for us to be in the parks, which I was kind of
Yeah.
disappointed. Had I known how little park time we would get, I probably would have tacked on a couple extra days.
For sure. Yeah, like I was going to go a whole other day earlier, but then on the back end I wanted to go to Palm Springs, and when I was trying to figure all that out, then I sort of traded one day at the end of the trip for one day at the front of the trip. But yeah, I probably should have went earlier. The most time I had in the park was probably the morning, like that next morning is was the next day was my mom's birthday, so we went into the park that morning. So we were in the park
Right.
from morning till about maybe 3 or 4 o'clock, and then I had to get back to start the conference. So, um,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and I saw
that
you
was
that
that
morning
was
too. We
it.
did spend some time together in the park.
Yeah, we went for breakfast at the plaza because they have all the awesome characters there, and we walked around a little bit, and my mom kept saying, "When's Fran? When are we going to see Fran? When's Fran getting to the
Aw.
park? When's Fran?" And then you showed up. Thank heavens, or else.
It was nice. We got to
And then
spend
we
some
hung out
time
for a little
together.
while. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got my mom got to see you on her birthday.
I was so
And we
excited I got to see her on her birthday. Yeah.
we hung out a little bit, but then yeah, it was time for the conference to start.
Yeah, I did get to see that morning. I got to meet my co-host from the Grand Circle Tour,
Oh yeah, that's
Holly. So
right.
she's the only one I've met in person. She was there with her mom and her mom's BFF, and her mom's friend was celebrating, I think it was her 75th birthday, and she'd never been to Disneyland.
Wow,
And
that's
they took
awesome.
her for her birthday. So that was kind of cool. I got to meet them and got to meet Holly. But yeah, I had gone to the park the night before because I had an extra day ticket and I had gone because I wanted to see Walt. Now you and
Yeah,
I have not talked about it
I
because
didn't
you,
see it.
what do you mean you didn't see it? I thought you went and saw it that day with your mom.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh. Are you
I have
kidding
not
me?
seen it. I need a do-over. I never got to
Oh
spend
my
any time.
gosh, Carrie. Like seriously, I thought for sure you did it that day with your mom.
Nope, I didn't. I did not.
So do you want to
It
hear what I
was
think about it, or is that like a spoiler alert?
no. I've watched and heard what a lot of people think about it, so I'm
Okay.
okay to talk about it.
So the night before I went by myself, I got to Disney. That was the only reason I went. I wanted to go and see that. And I got in for the last show of the evening. So it really wasn't crowded. It was nice. I know a lot of people have compared it to like Walt's One Man's Dream and all that kind of stuff. Similar, but I I loved it. Like I loved hearing the story again and Walt's journey and all of that stuff. Like you're sitting in the place that he built. Of course, like how could you not have goosebumps listening to it? And then when the audio animatronic comes out, I know people have qualms about this thing, but like it, let's be clear, it's a robot. Like you can't look exactly like him. But I thought it was impressive. Like
Yeah.
I had a lump in my throat and my eyes were a little
When
watery and there were goosebumps there. I thought they did a really good job. I really do. I
yeah.
think it was really good.
I from like the people that I watch that are like the Disneylanders, like the people from Disneyland, like they like it.
Yeah.
And maybe it took them their knee jerk reaction might have been a little like, oh, that's a little weird for,
But
but
it
they
is a
watch it a
robot.
second time and then they like it, and even the likeness of him, like I think a lot of it has to do with like the angles and sitting, and
Where you're
it is
sitting.
meant to be watched from your seat, like not from a camera or a
Yes.
video, like how they showed the video of it before it even opened, and or the date opened and people were all up in arms. But I think it's meant to be enjoyed in person and to be felt and have the
Yes.
feelings and all of that stuff.
It was, yeah. I think it was fantastic. So I love it. You need to do over.
Yeah, I
Now,
do.
did you get to do the Haunted Mansion while you
No,
were there? The overlay.
no,
Oh,
no, I did not. But I
I
did it
did.
like I did it the last time when I was there. Um, no, I did it in because they never did have the real Haunted Mansion this year, right? Because they closed it and then they reopened it. I think I did
Right.
it in when I was there in July or June or whenever the
Mm,
heck I was there after my Vegas trip.
right. It's, yeah,
Right?
see,
Because they didn't bring it back. Like they closed the mansion when they were doing all of the accessibility
right.
stuff and doing the queue and doing the new shop. And then I think they just opened it up
Hmm.
as Nightmare. So, so I didn't do that. We did Pirates. We did Tiki Room with you. We did
Yeah,
the Rode the Train that day. We walked about. We had a mint julep,
of course.
but mostly
You
just
can't
hung
you can't
about
do
and
Disneyland without a mint julep. And then that first night, I think, was or the first day of the event, we went back to see Paint the Night with the event.
yeah, they had an opening reception, and remember they had all the ladies and guys dancing, and they had
Yes.
live. I don't know if they had live music, but they had people dancing, and they had acrobats and all kinds of stuff, and food and glow sticks and all
Yes.
kinds of stuff. But
It was
in
very colorful.
the opening party at the hotel, and then we went to go see Paint the Night.
And of
I
course,
think it was
it's
supposed to be
Carrie
tied to
loves.
Paint the Night, right? It was
Right.
tied to
It was supposed to be
the theme
like,
of the party was the same as Paint the Night.
right.
Very
Right.
glowy and yeah, a spectacle. So
And then the next day, the events were so they had some of the events in the hotel, but then
mhm.
the others were in the Hyperion Theater. So
Yes, so we
actually
had to go into
in
the park.
Yeah, so actually in DCA we got to go into the park and then they hosted like a lunch for us out back of the theater.
Yeah.
Um which was kind of cool. And of course, on that day we got to meet Judy and Nick. Which was like, of course I was super excited. Super
Yeah, and the
excited.
lunches were themed like so that lunch was themed to like they had Nick and Judy there, but then they had the food was all themed to Zootopia.
Yes, the desserts, the donut, the whole nine yards. Like they had some pretty cool theming. That was awesome. And then that night there was we did, what's it called? What's it called, Carrie? where we did the group photo. World of
World
Color.
of Color?
That's it. We did World of Color. So we did have a few hours in between there where we got a little bit of free time, but it really wasn't a ton because we had to meet over in DCA for World of Color that night.
Yeah, like when we had free time, like we were usually going back. Like, so if we started at the hotel, then we had to go to the park for the sessions and lunch. And then we had to go back to the hotel for picking up something or doing whatever they had going on, the sessions or whatever. We were like, so we did have to kind of jockey back and forth. So that did take up a bit of our time.
It did. It did take a lot of time going back and forth. Because I forget how long that walk is through downtown Disney.
And
Um,
before the World of Color, we had the Canadian agency reception too. So that was another
right.
thing that was kind of a back and forth. And I guess like for me and you, like we kind of just go with the flow, and whatever we put on for our conference that day is the same
Yes.
outfit we're wearing to the Canadian reception. But like if you were gonna like be changing your outfits and
Oh, I can't
wanted to
even
wear something
imagine.
like that's even more running about. So but yeah, they had a Canadian reception for the Canadian agencies, and that was nice because that was all themed food, and it's in the at the California Grand Californian. They have like a courtyard, and above the courtyard the monorail goes by, which is probably the best part of that courtyard. The best part,
That was
while you're
awesome.
sitting near
Yeah.
the monorail. But they had an artist that they asked us what our favorite Pixar character was because the meal was themed to Pixar. Then they gave us sketches when we left, so that was kind of neat. They had an artist there that was sketching things, but also they had pre-prepared sketches for all of us for our favorite characters. That was kind of fun.
That was fun. And that was interesting too. And you're right, though. You and I are pretty low maintenance in terms of that. Like, there were people that had different outfits for different parts of the event, but for Carrie and I both, like, well, whatever we put on in the morning, that's so you would see us in the parks in sort of business-ish attire. But whatever, makes for different pictures.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and then we did World of
We had to
Color.
go back to the World of Color, yeah, to watch that, and then we did a big group photo afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah. And then on the last day in the Hyperion Theater, they had a surprise. They had a bunch of surprise guests. So there was lots of singing. Um,
Yeah.
the oh good heavens, what's her name? The woman that's the fairy godmother, the godmother of the Destiny.
Oh, Susan Egan.
Yeah, yeah, she was there. She sang, which was lovely. And then they had I Carrie.
Kristen Bell.
That's her
Is
name.
that who you're talking about?
That's her name. Yeah. They had her come out, which was kind of fun. Um, so that was pretty neat. Like, that was a pretty neat panel and discussion and things in the Hyperion Theater for us. And then before you know it, like, the event is kind of over.
Yeah, they had a closing party for us.
Yeah, so that night,
Mm.
the last night, they had a closing party at the Disneyland Resort for us out in the grassy area, I guess, between the two buildings.
Yeah.
Um, and that was kind of fun. They had lots of different food and music. They had a live band that was kind of off the charts. He was lots of fun. And yeah, they had some of the characters come out in their evening attire to meet with us.
Mhm.
And that was it. And then it was over.
Oh,
It
it
was
was so
like,
quick.
it was so quick. It was basically Monday to Friday. The event, we arrived on Monday. Event was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday morning, I'm flying home, and you're beginning your next adventure.
Hmm.
So that was right when they said the airports were going to have delays.
Yeah.
Um, so I was a little worried on the Friday morning, but my flight was like 11:30 and it went off without a hitch. The 8 a.m. flight was delayed until like 4 p.m.
Mm. I've had people asking me, like messaging me while I was there because I stayed for 5 more days, and
Uh-huh.
I had or 5 more nights, and I had people messaging me asking me the whole time, like, "Are you going to get home? Is your flight going to be canceled? Is everything going
Yeah.
to be okay?" And I had a flight, so I picked up a car rental from Enterprise, which I wish I had the address to tell everybody. It's just down the road from Disneyland, the most superb, excellent customer service from a car rental agency I've ever had.
Oh,
Top of
that's
everything,
good.
such a good team that was working together. In and out of that place in mere minutes, but got full service, had all my questions answered, felt I understood every single thing I needed to understand. Car washed, toured of the car, any questions asked, have a great day. Like it was all
Nice.
excellent, excellent service. But anyway, so I rented a car, and then on the way home, I was flying from Palm Springs to LAX, and then from LAX home. And my flight from it was all booked through Air Canada, but my first leg of my flight was being operated by United, maybe.
Yeah.
And um, like I got an email and it told me to like download the United app because that's how I had to do my check-in, I guess, because it was the first leg. And I never really have flights like that. So I was like, okay, whatever. But once I had downloaded the app and I had loaded my flight, like the app made it quite clear, like whether or not like they were saying that because we were in like international flights weren't going to be impacted. But the minute I loaded the flight, like the app clearly said, like we have already rescheduled due to whatever it was called. We've rescheduled all of our flights up to whatever day. So I was coming home on a Wednesday and the app had been telling me for 3 or 4 days, like, no worries. We've already rejigged everything up till Wednesday.
Right.
So
So you should be
if you're
good.
getting changed or canceled, it's not because of that, probably because well, maybe, but that they were looking ahead. So that's what I was telling people that were asking me and whatever. Like I was saying, I've been informed, and it's not like they're waking up in the morning and going, oh crap, we got to deal with this today again. And then going, like, getting their little, their pen and their clipboard and going, okay, which ones are we canceling this morning? Like they're working ahead and like,
Right.
which again, how much money is it going to cost an airline? Like all messing all of these things and having to cancel people and reschedule and put people up and whatever.
Yes.
Like it's in their best interest. Can't we're saying all these nice I'm saying all these nice things about airlines. It's in their best interest to work ahead and to make it all, you know, as seamless as possible, right? So, anyways, so that was my thing. I was telling everybody I think they're doing their job, rescheduling things in a timely manner so that they're not going to leave people too stranded. I don't know. Did you hear
Right.
anything different? Did you hear any other horror
No.
stories?
No, like other than the people that were delayed from like 11:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock or 8 in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think all of our friends, everybody kind of got home and all worked well. So what did you do? So you picked up a car and then what was the adventure, Carrie? Because this is
Yeah.
when your adventure starts. I come home, you begin your adventure.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to go to Palm Springs, and I've always wanted to go to Palm Springs with my mom. So I picked up a rent a car and then we drove to Palm Springs. Pretty much. That's what happened. So we stayed at the JW. I have put it up here. What's it called? We stayed at the JW Marriott Desert Springs Resort and Spa. And it's a resort that was built in the 80s, which is like right up my alley. Like it's definitely designed in a totally different generation, but it's a
Yeah.
humongous resort. They have like a beautiful pond, and in the lobby, like the pond actually comes into the lobby. So cheesy. I looked at old pictures back in the day, and like the original lobby, the pond obviously still had the lobby because that's why the lobby has a pond because it's from the 80s. And they had like waterfalls from the hotel that went into the pond. But now they still have like when you walk in, it's this big lobby with like these outward balcony, like the lobby that looks outside but inside, and they had the pond, and like the boats come from outside into the lobby and pick people up and then bring people out to the pond area and like do a route around the pond and like
Aw.
you see the property and then the golf courses and all that stuff. So you pay like $5 and you get to go on this boat for a tour. Anyways, but like beautiful pools, beautiful spa, like it was a very, very nice resort. So the plan was to just kind of stay there for a couple of days. We stayed for 5 nights and we just wanted to relax. We had a beautiful balcony. They upgraded, like my last night I had booked with my Marriott points. Like I kind of did a split stay because I only had enough points to get to get free to use my points for one night. But that one night they upgraded me. So the lovely lady at the
Oh.
check-in um went back to the managers and upgraded us for the whole stay so that I wouldn't have to change my room on the last day. So we had like this deluxe view room and it overlooked like the mountains and the pool and the pond.
Aw.
And we had a beautiful sunset every night. Um, and the 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 um the balcony was huge. Like I brought out pillows on my big chair. I sat there and I worked. I sat there every single morning from like when I woke up bright and early to probably like 10 o'clock. I sat on the balcony. So the resort had yeah, lots of pools, lots of like they had a spa, they had lots of restaurants, they had everything that you really wouldn't need to you wouldn't really need to leave. They had like black swans and ducks, and out front they had a flamingo area where we could go down and look at the flamingos. They said the flamingos just live there, like they're not
Aw.
clipped or anything, but like they feed them. So then so they have a little flamingo sanctuary there. But um, but anyways, yeah, the plan was just to kind of chill out and be there. So we did a couple of day trips. Like we drove to like just drove around the valley, did a little bit of shopping one day, went up to Palm Springs twice. Um, and I did one of those. I was gonna go to the Joshua Tree National Park, but I decided we're just gonna keep chilling out. But I bought one of those I bought those audio tours. So like
Mm.
you pay for the audio tour, you download it, and then it uses GPS when you're in the car to tell you what you're seeing. So the first day we went to Palm Springs, I started at the wrong starting point. But in getting to the starting point, it was like a Pride weekend celebration in Palm Springs. So like the whole entire downtown core, which when
Oh
I say
no.
downtown, it's not downtown like downtown. Like there's no buildings that are more than 2 stories in Palm Springs, probably. Like, but they're downtown where all the restaurants and all of their
Yeah.
tourism is. All the streets were blocked off. So like I was trying to like so I went to go, which I thought was a starting point, and I was going to the wrong starting point because it says like go to this point to start, and then it tells you where to go. So I was going to the wrong starting point, and I didn't even realize that until I was so far in, and then all of the roads were closed. So I was trying to get around this like completely like entire downtown core. You can't get anywhere. Trying to get around, then to realize I started at the wrong spot. Then to like kind of go long, and like thank heavens, like I had a new car that had a GPS so that I could kind of
Yeah.
see. I'm pretty good with
You're
directions
pretty
once I
good
kind
with
of wrap my head
directions.
around it.
Yeah.
I got on like when you get to a certain point, if you get close to the spots, the GPS is going to pick it up, right? So once I could kind of get out and I was looking on the map to try to get to some of these numbers on the like there's the Google map that I have for my car, but then I had the app on my phone that was the app for the tour. So I was trying to like find myself over to at least an area on the map that would like then click and and uh and start talking, and then I could kind of say, okay, that's where I am. So I did that for a little bit, and then I was like, forget about it. So I actually drove over to where it was supposed to start at the Palm Springs Visitor Center, which is beautiful, Art Deco or mid-century beautiful. I actually went there and then kind of started again and then did and drove through. So you drive through and it tells you all like the celebrity homes. We saw the home where Priscilla and Elvis spent their honeymoon, all of
Oh.
the homes of you know, the old Hollywood movie stars. Like so we drove around and did all of that, which was kind of fun. But like really now, like I love Palm Springs so much. Like the architecture is so amazing. Like you could just drive up and down the streets. It sort of felt like being in Beverly Hills. Like if you've ever been in Beverly Hills or in that part of California and you're driving on in one of those tour buses and like
Yeah.
they're going around all the corners and up and down the hills and whatever. Like that's pretty much what Palm Springs is like. You're just driving. There's a couple of main streets where all the hubbub is, all the restaurants, all of the excitement and entertainment, and then everything else is just neighborhoods. And you like you're just driving. The streets were quiet, like even because I was up there a couple times. The streets were quiet, so you could if you had a GPS, like I could have just driven up and down all of the streets to look at them. And these houses were like unbelievable, like everything I
Oh.
ever dreamt of. Like these houses were amazing. Like I don't, my mom thought it was all very cool. Like, but I'm like kind of next level with some of this stuff. So, like we'd be like, I would just randomly pull over and like take a picture of some strange person's house because I just thought like it was absolute perfection. So, anyways, we drove around Palm Springs one day, looking at the celebrity homes and doing that, and yeah, we went back to Palm Springs another day when it wasn't the festival because again,
Yeah.
like I said, like the
You
entire
need to
Palm
get
Springs
downtown.
was so anyways, we parked. They have like a humongous like art piece that's a big Marilyn Monroe statue. We like parked and we drove and we bought some cheesy tourist you know, whatever souvenirs and we walked the streets and we looked in the stores and we did all that stuff. But like the streets are like there's mountains everywhere, there's desert everywhere, there's palm trees everywhere, there's cactus everywhere, and every single building, the library, the every single building is mid-century and it's absolutely beautiful. Even we were by the airport like well when we left, but we drove by the airport a couple other times and like there's just like a little neighborhood that would be like my neighborhood. Like it's just these little
Hmm.
tiny houses and they were all just like absolute perfection. And my mom and I were talking like they're kind of like they look my mom's like they look like Flintstone houses. I'm like, yes, because the Flintstones was made in this era. Like Flintstones were mid-century Stone Age homes
Yeah.
for the Flintstones. But anyways, that it was awesome. And I realized quite quickly, like probably like by the end of the first day we were there, that Palm Springs is where I need to be. I love that place. I don't need to necessarily be in the city of Palm Springs, but where we were was kind of like there's Palm Springs and then there's all kinds of like suburbs and they're like nice and quiet. Everybody drives, but there's lots of seniors there because it's a retirement area. Like there's not many aggressive drivers. Everybody kind of just goes with the flow. There's everything I could need there. Beautiful vistas, lots of cactus. They've got, In-N-Out burgers and Hobby Lobbies, and I'll be able to just retire one day and do some crafts and then just revel in the beauty of the
So
Palm Springs area.
so you've picked your retirement spot. Like you're
Oh,
you're
I was
settled
like
in. You're done.
one morning I was like on our big balcony. One morning I was Googling like how like what can I afford here? Like and how do I what do I need to do to be able to afford this? Can't afford to live with the JW Marriott, but I can
Yeah.
afford to live. There's got to be somewhere where I can afford to live. And the one funny thing about this trip, which like the Palm Springs section, which I kept like laughing at all week long, was like I don't know if it was unseasonably warm, but like I've been to Las Vegas in every single month of the year, every
Yeah.
single month pretty much. So I was and I'd been to Las Vegas in November. I was assuming that it was going to be like sunny, very, very sunny and warm and nice. But
Yeah.
like I packed like mittens and all kinds of things because I thought like, I knew I booked a room with a balcony and I kind of envisioned I had this romantic ideal of us, sitting on the balcony all the time and drinking our coffee in the morning, getting some room
Yeah.
service. But I was worried it was going to be a little chilly. Like whenever the sun wasn't out, it was going to be chilly. Well, I think it was unseasonably warm. In the middle of the day, it was 100 to 107 degrees out. So, like, thank goodness we had a car rental. Thank goodness we had lots of air conditioning so we could just go around and just drive and be very, very comfortable. But, like, I couldn't sit on my balcony in the middle of the day and work. Like, I would be like, I'd start falling asleep because
Yeah.
it was so hot outside. And then, and in the morning and in the evening, like, I could have lived on the balcony. Once the sun went
It was
down,
beautiful.
it was
Yeah.
beautiful. So like my body was waking up like normally at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30. I wasn't going out that early. Like I might try to sleep for another hour, but like literally at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, I went out to the balcony. I had my laptop out there if I needed it, or I just had my phone. I brought out my pillows from my bed because Marriott's they give you like 18 pillows. They had this big chair. I had my pillows on it, and I literally sat out there until we decided to get moving because we were there to relax. Like we might not have left the hotel till 10:30, 11. Like we just chilled out and played games, watched stuff on TV, sat on our balcony. We brought all kinds of food because my mom was gluten free, so we had all kinds of snacks and stuff like that. But and then at nighttime, same thing. Like we could
Right.
just sit out there for hours And it was the most, and we had this beautiful view and this beautiful big balcony. Like that's the part that I really like. I stayed at the JW Marriott for that purpose. I had a cheapy place booked with a free breakfast and everything. And then like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before, I was like, what if it's, you know, what are we gonna do sitting in this like cheapy hotel? Like we don't have a balcony, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
We're just gonna be sitting watching TV. Like I knew we weren't gonna be running the roads. Like I knew the whole purpose was to rest and relax. So I'm like, that's it. We're going JW. And I had this like, oh, this balcony. But I was like so prepared. Like I had like not no joke. Like we didn't even like well, my mom, she gets chilly, so she would have put on her sweater. But like literally, I probably wouldn't have needed a sweater from the minute I stepped into Palm Springs to the
Yeah.
minute I got to the air. I was so prepared. I had multiple layers. I had mittens for us. I had slippers for the room in case I
Oh
needed
my
slippers. Like
gosh.
I packed so much stuff, worried that like just so that to make sure that we'd be comfortable because I wanted to like really enjoy the
Right.
experience. And it was hot as heck and whatever. So yeah, that was pretty much it. We relaxed. I really love Palm Springs. Like I am in I wish I could still be there. And I don't think I've missed a place as much as I've missed Palm Springs. I miss Disneyland every single day,
Of
but I
course.
don't think I've ever missed anything like the way
Quite
that I miss
like,
Palm Springs.
so it lived up to everything you had hoped and more.
And the best part too, like even the airport, like when we went back to the airport, like the airport is all like mid-century. It's the most beautiful airport ever, just as I expected. I was so excited that we were going to get to fly out of the Palm Springs airport so that I could actually see the Palm Springs airport. And it was totally awesome. Like it was
Aw.
everything about it. Like I just pictured myself like flying into Palm Springs for the winter, being at that wonderful airport, and just a
Yeah.
quick little jaunt to whatever I can afford in
I
Palm
love
Springs
that
for the
you and your
winter.
mom had such a good
So
time.
it was good. We definitely relaxed and it was good for me. Like not like I still work, but like I was getting like kind of sore shoulder from being at my desk and I,
Yeah.
not being at this desk for those days to let my to do different things was good for my body for sure. I was at the point where my body needed
Absolutely.
a break from my desk. So being away at Disneyland and then being away
Mm-hmm.
here gave me a pretty good break from my desk. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that's something that a lot of people maybe don't recognize is that you and I, as much as they see us online or they hear us talk about our travels and we're traveling and it sounds like so much fun and all that great stuff, and it is, when we're not, we're at our desks, like our actual desks working good,
Like
like
all the time.
all the time. Like you
Work
can
hard, play
message
hard.
and we're at our desks. It really it's weird if we're not. And that's like from morning till night. So yeah, your body needs a break. It needs to get away from your desk and
Hmm.
give your shoulder a break and all of that kind of stuff. And you absolutely deserve some time away, and I'm so glad you got it.
It felt like it's rare. I find it's rare like those days were a vacation and I did
Yes,
work like and whatever like it's
of
like
course.
working from your comfy chair on your balcony with your blankets and your
It's
pillows
it's a different kind of work.
is like I'm humming and singing and just clean up this inbox. It's fun. But but it so yeah, we're always working when we're away. We never gonna have proper vacation like over.
No.
But but it did feel like a vacation. So, which is rare. Like it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it is rare to actually feel like you're away, like quote unquote away and
mm,
taking a bit of a break. But you're right. Like we
yeah,
never are not working, but yeah, there's a different kind of work.
yeah, for
So
sure.
your mom's
So yeah,
birthday trip was a big success.
I think so. I think she liked it. I think she liked relaxing and taking it easy. She was a little worried about like the gluten-free stuff, but like of
Yeah.
course Disneyland does a good job. Um, and
You
then
had all the
like
snacks that we picked up at
yeah, we
Walmart.
bought snacks and then we bought, well, the one thing we ended up throwing away some of our snacks when we got to Palm Springs because when we rolled into Palm Springs, again, dummy, okay, I also packed collapsible freezer bag
Yes.
because I
Yes.
was thinking like, what if the fridges are don't work very well? What if I end up having to buy a lot of gluten-free food for my mom? Like I can go get ice from the ice
Hmm.
machine and I can have a little cooler in my room. Didn't need using it. But when we were going from Disneyland to Palm Springs, it's only a couple hour drive. But we like I had it all figured out. Like In-N-Out Burger is gluten free. So like I was like, that's it. My mom hasn't probably had French fries from a fast food restaurant in a long time. So I was like, we're going In-N-Out Burger, whatever. We pull into the In-N-Out Burger and there's a Hobby Lobby right there. So then of
Like,
course we
oh
gotta
my
go to the
gosh.
Hobby Lobby. We gotta go shopping in the Hobby Lobby. And but it's like it's 107 degrees out. So like milk went thrown away, cheese got
Yep.
thrown away. Like I could have put all of that in the bag with ice. Like I brought a bag to hold all of that stuff. And
Yep.
I could have packed it up before I left the hotel and made and zipped it all up and whatever. But in my head, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be normal weather. It's
It'll
not
be
going to
no
be
problem.
100 and a bajillion degrees out. Um, so yeah, we had to throw it out.
How
But yeah,
how
my
were the
mom
fries? Did she
the
enjoy having fries?
fries in the burger because they wrap the like they're old school. They've been wrapping burgers and lettuce forever, so they have burgers and
Nice.
lettuce and the fry. I like it.
Oh, good for
In-N-Out
her.
In-N-Out burger fries are a little controversial. People don't like them because they don't really cook them a lot. Like they're very lightly cooked. So like if you want your In-N-Out fries to be kind of more what you're used to, you have to ask them to like double fry them so that they'll be like darker and crispier. I like them just the way that they are, but I think she liked it. So,
Good.
but yeah, we found food no problem. We went and bought more groceries.
Hmm.
Um, and we did room service the one night when we got there because we didn't have any groceries yet, and I was too tired to go shopping. We went out for breakfast one morning because breakfast is a pretty easy gluten-free place, and the place we went to had gluten-free bread and whatever if she wanted to have it. Um, but yeah, we we did good for the food, I think.
That's
So,
awesome. Oh, I'm so glad.
so it was a good trip.
Good.
And then we came home.
Then you came home.
Yeah. And then you went away.
I know. See, this is why. So this explains why Carrie and I hadn't recorded. So we did the conference, then Carrie went on her adventures, and then when you came home, I think it was just a couple days later that I flew back
Yeah,
to
not
Fort
that no,
Lauderdale.
yeah, there was only a couple days, but also like I thought that we'd be able to record when I was away, like when I was at the JW, but like in the
Yes.
morning time, my my like I would go out to the balcony and my mom would sleep a little longer. She wouldn't go out there that early. She'd probably come out around like 8:30 or 9. But I probably could have done it from the balcony. But after like on day two, like the second full day, the Canadian geese arrived. So like there was no more
They were
peaceful
squawking.
anytime. Oh my goodness, they were squawking like crazy.
And
So
we
there was
did
too
talk
many
about that.
waterfowl outside for me to be able to record.
We did plan to record while you were there, but it just didn't work out. So we did have a plan. It's not that we dropped the ball.
Yeah,
We
we
did
thought
have
we
a
could
plan,
fig-
but
we
it
thought we could for
we
sure figure that
couldn't.
out, but then we didn't. Yeah.
And we didn't. And then the next thing we know, I'm on a flight to Fort Lauderdale. Spent a night at the hotel in Fort Lauderdale before going on the Disney Destiny, Disney Cruise Line. Um,
Brand new ship, the newest ship.
like crazy, crazy. So yeah, it was definitely that was a bit of a whirlwind.
So you
Um,
said so I was just gonna say was it a bit of a whirlwind? The thing
yeah,
is the thing in with these trips, like that's like it's a lot of fun. You had a lot of fun,
I did.
but it's like it it's a lot of work. Like you were running around like a crazy lady, right?
Well,
Like
that's what happens. Like you think about it. So you go to EarMarked, you're running back and forth from the hotel to the sessions. You got to be up first thing in the morning on your A game, dressed and ready to mix and mingle. And that goes all day until nighttime. And then you come home and you're home for 5 days, which is basically enough time to turn around your laundry, get caught up on the stuff you need to do from home. And then boom, you're back out again. And that the Destiny was a work trip. So I went on it, and one of my team agents, Jeremy, came with me. Because, I like to think I'm an equal opportunity employer. So, we did have the discussion. If his wife was okay with it, he was welcome to join. And so we stayed at Disney put us up at the hotel in Fort Lauderdale the night before. And then the next day they busted. So there was a ton of us, right? Like,
You had a, not that first night, you had a reception too.
yeah, they had a reception for the
Like when you're at the hotel that night, you had a
yeah,
reception.
out on the beach patio or whatever, which is great because then you get to see which of your friends and people that are there too, so you know who's all there. And got to say hello. And you know me, I talk to anybody. So I was meeting all sorts of different agency owners and stuff. Which was nice because you recognize some of them. You've seen them online. Some of them were at EarMarked, but not all. And so the reception was good. And then we went for dinner at a place down the beach. And that was it. Like the next morning, you're getting on the bus and they're taking you to the port. And there was a major accident
Oh,
on the road. So if you know the Fort Lauderdale port, like where we were staying was probably a 10-minute drive to the port. But because there was an accident, which we couldn't see, it took us probably 40 minutes to get there. And there was at one point where our bus was stuck in the middle of an intersection for at least 10 minutes. Like that's how bad the traffic was because of this accident. Some of the buses were turning around. It was a bit crazy, but we did manage to get there. And of course, with some of these preview cruises, it's not just agencies that are there, but also the YouTubers and the, whatever. So if you watch, I personally don't watch them, but if you watch the beginning of Tim Tracker's video of the Destiny, you get to see me and Jeremy walking on the ship. We seem to make a couple of little cameos in some of those videos. So yeah, you'll see us in some of the other the other influencer videos. But yeah, so it's been a while since I've been on a Disney cruise specifically. It's been a couple of years actually, I think. It was good. It was good. We had a family ocean veranda room. So it sleeps five. So there was the big bed, then the bunk bed that comes out of the ceiling, the couch, and then the Trundle Murphy bed at the very end, which was great. So you're sharing a room with somebody. So that was lots of room for Jeremy and I. He slept in the Trundle bed right up against the door. There was a curtain to pull between us. It was all good. The ship is Marvel. So I wasn't sure
heroes and villains, isn't it? It's not all.
It's not all
heroes and
Marvel,
villains.
but it's heroes and villains. So then I was a little bit like, okay, I need to be on my game to know who some of these people are. And quite frankly, I didn't know who some of them were. And that's just fine. And to be honest, you don't need to experience and enjoy the ship. So that's good. But again, with parts like things like this, you're working. So you're doing room tours, you're going to take pictures and videos of all the different staterooms and the kinds of staterooms and things like that. Then you're going to all of the bars and the events and the shows and that kind of stuff. So it really is morning to night work. But of course, some of it's fun work. You're trying the drinks in the bars, you're going to the shows. I will say this. So Jeremy is a very big show person. As we know, I am not. So the very first night of they had the show. It was the one with the characters. It was goofy. It was a lot of fun, but Jeremy insisted we get there early so that we could have front row. So I sat in the front row of this show. Carrie's laughing at me already. I gotta say, it was awesome to be up close like that. I've never done that before because you know me, I usually sit in the back of the theater. I've never been that close before. You can see all sorts of stuff that you can't see from the back, and you get to see their expressions a lot better and things like that. For me, though, it was too loud. Like there was too much going on, and my eyeballs couldn't take it all in being so close. So night 2 and 3, Jeremy went to the front and I sat at the back. Um, because my brain can't process it that close. Like there was too much going on and I couldn't see. What else? So the
So like
bars.
Hercules.
So Hercules, I loved it.
Mhm.
Probably a little longer than I would have, you know me, like 40, 45 minutes is my cap for, I'm, yeah. And it was like an hour and five, I think. But it was really good. It was really entertaining. And, I really did enjoy it. I really did.
That's good. And I've heard like people have been raving about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really good. The guy that is Hercules, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Um, on the ship one morning, they also had a panel for us to go to that they invited us to, which had first they had like the heads of the different departments, like food and beverage and rooms and things like that, talking about how the Destiny came to be. But then the next panel, they invited, and I saw some of them in the audience at the beginning, and then up comes Bill Farmer, so the voice of Goofy, um, Brett
That
Iwan,
island.
yeah, the voice of Mickey Mouse, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget her name, but the voice of Minnie
Yeah,
Mouse,
Susan Egan. Oh no, I don't know her name, but then
she was
I don't know
there.
her name at all.
The voice of Winnie the Pooh, I was like
Yeah,
blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And the voice of Hercules was there, and then Susan Egan.
yeah, because she's
So
Meg.
yes, and it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. So they each did like a little speech, like they just talking about being on the Destiny and stuff like that. So it was fun to see them. But then the next night when I went to see Hercules, I went to the back of the theater, Jeremy up front, and I looked down and 3 rows in front of me is Goofy, Mickey, Minnie. Like I saw, and they were all sitting there, and I was like, "Oh, look, I'm sitting next to these guys." So that was kind of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, and get it. You could see them around the ship and stuff, and people stopped. I didn't get any pictures or autographs with them, but because part of it, I want they should enjoy some of the cruise too. I did get to experience all of the bars. I gotta say, like the theming is phenomenal. I finally got in the Haunted Mansion bar, which was cool. The last night we went for a drink there and sat at the bar. But I think I was dead by then. Honest to goodness, probably perfect place in the Haunted Mansion. But I was like, I wasn't even functioning at that point. I was so tired. Um, the Haunted Mansion bar is pretty cool. I wish they'd made it bigger. Like I get that
Mhm.
they made it small and whatever for a reason, but I wish they'd made it bigger because there were like 3 or 4 other times we walked in there and we couldn't even get a seat for two. So that was rough.
Like, didn't they when they? Well, I don't know if it was because of the the C word, but when they opened up when they did the wish, didn't they have to do a virtual queue for the Star Wars bar? Like,
Yeah,
I wonder,
something.
are they doing
Yeah,
anything like that? I wonder on the
I don't
treasure,
know.
like,
I don't know.
and on the Destiny, or if they're just because like it's pretty like maybe
It's
it's not as
popular.
popular as Star Wars, but
It was pretty cool. The other one that was really fun was DeVille's. So Cruella DeVille's, she has her own bar, and you go in, and they had these two people who were like the storytellers of the ship, and they wanted to write a song for Cruella, like that's part of the shtick in the bar, and they get the whole audience involved in writing this song for her, and then she comes back and we all sing it to her. That was pretty cool. We did trivia in Cast and Canon, I think it's called, the pirate themed bar, which was fun. We won trivia, of course.
Mhm.
um we did that. I'm trying to think of what else. I actually got to see the pirate show from the deck. Like actually, when you cruise, so here's the thing, and I've said this multiple times. It's important to sometimes vacation with people or be open to other ways to vacation, because when I go with my sister, we do the same thing all the time. There's no changing it. When I go with you, we're a little more flexible. We do different things, whatever. But when you go with someone you've never been with before, or you meet up with friends that you haven't vacationed with before, they do things different than you. So for Jeremy, he wants to be there and see that pirate show. I don't think I've ever seen it before on any of my Disney cruises. I might have seen it from a way back, but I was right up against the railing, saw the whole thing, including the fireworks. I couldn't believe it. Things like that. Like when you're with somebody different, you do things a little differently. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
went to all three
awesome.
shows.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge, right? Um, so yeah, it was pretty. I'm trying to think. I feel like I want to tell you all sorts of stuff. Like what did I'm forgetting to tell you something. Edna a la mode, that um treat place, amazing. Theming, amazing. Just phenomenal. Um there was so much going on. I will say, and I am not a fan of the dinner shows.
Mm.
So this is my first time. So I haven't been on the Wish or the Treasure because I got COVID before my Wish cruise, so I never went. So I have not been on the shows where they do, like on the ships where they do the full show at dinner.
They do it on almost all of them now, I think.
And I struggle. So when we got to dinner, so when they do these preview cruises, they're not at capacity. So when we got to dinner, they had put Jeremy and I's seats side by side. So we were facing like the stage, but we were pretty far, like we were far back in the Lion King restaurant. So they had us seating side by side. And I just thought, I want to see what people are going to experience. Because when the ship is full, you're not sitting side by side. You're going to, like, I'm going to be on the other side of the table. So I did. So I moved around and sat there. And it was hard. Like, it was hard to eat and watch, like, turn your head to watch the show. And so the show was good. The music was beautiful. But it was definitely a bit difficult to enjoy. I think Jeremy got a much better enjoyment out of it because of where his seat was
Mm.
facing. So for me, it was
Yeah,
kind of like that means that half the people in the restaurant,
more than half.
right, are not going to have that fantastic view.
Yeah.
So to me, I was kind of like, it, I don't know. Like to me, I wasn't a big fan of it. I liked the show, but just the timing and trying to eat and trying to enjoy it, I could have done without it.
I kind of feel the same way. I think I've seen it on because they've been doing it on the older ships. So I think I've seen it on the Magic and I think I've seen it on the Wish. And and if you're not anywhere near the stage, you don't even necessarily get to enjoy it. But I always like I think it's a good idea to have entertainment, but I don't know why it has to be like a show like that. Like I wish
Yes.
that they would have like I wish that they would have like maybe just some like pop-up stages, like little tiny like
Yes.
performance stands or something. And then when you have, the musicians from Frozen, like they just sing and play and dance, like sing and dance, not sing and dance, play and sing along and entertain us instead of it having to be like a big ordeal. Like I think the entertainment is good. I like that part of it, but I think it doesn't have to be such a spectacle because I do think
Yes.
that like a majority of people might not get to enjoy like a small amount of people will enjoy it the way that it's meant to be enjoyed, and then everybody else sees it from afar or has to like awkwardly watch it somehow or whatever.
That's kind of how
But
I
but
felt.
if they had like little pop-up stages where like or even if they had like the musicians in different spots and like they were just singing or whatever, right? Or
Yeah.
making it even if it was like characters walked around and interacted and it was more of a character meal versus a
Well,
song
because
and
that's the
dance.
thing. Like the Marvel one was fine because it was on the walls, kind of like the one they
Animator's
have
palette.
in Animator's Palette. So that one you could at least you were getting to see it. You didn't have to turn your head, like it was right there, and it wasn't continual. It wasn't long. It kind of came on for a few minutes and then went away and then came on for a few minutes. So that one I felt was good. but the one in the Lion King restaurant was a little that was a little hard. We did go to a comedy show one night, which was that was amazing. Like we were laughing, howling. It was all good there. We really did enjoy a lot of different time around the ship. It was I did get to tour the suites. Like those big 2 bedroom, like oh my gosh. We can only imagine, Carrie. Like that's one of those things. If I win the lottery, you'll know. Um, so that was pretty cool.
The bathrooms in those suites are the size of like a regular stateroom.
Right? I think the closest you and I are getting to any kind of luxury like that is our next MSC cruise. We're going to do the upgrade, right?
Yeah, you got it.
But they had some great characters coming out on the ship and meets and things like that. So yeah,
What
it was pretty phenomenal.
what about the adult area? Like it's not they don't have it the same, right? On those newer ships,
Yeah.
it's kind of dispersed. So but did you go to the Cove Cafe? Did they do the Cove Cafe right this time?
So they did the Cove Cafe right. I went there for a cup of tea because you know how hard it is to find a good cup of tea anywhere. I did go for a cup of tea at the Cove Cafe. It was $8 US for my tea. I think it was, oh no, sorry, it was $7 and then I gave a tip and yeah. Anyway, but you know what? I didn't care. It was a good cup of tea. So the Cove Cafe was great. The adult only area, great. The only thing that I would object to on this ship that I like better about the older ships is that the adult nightclubs, like the clubs and stuff, are all over the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on the older ships, it's all in one area. So in the evening, you could go to one of the bars and then just pop your head in the bar next door and see what's going on at the comedy club or what's going on at the disco or whatever. On this ship, if you went to the Haunted Mansion and the bar was full and you couldn't get a seat, you had to be very specific about where you were going. Like you couldn't just pop your head into DeVille's and say, is there room there? You had to think about, okay, which bar am I going to go to next then to try? Whereas on the older ships, you could just pop your head in, like they were all right there. So that I found weird a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
I think
yeah,
this
it was good. I mean,
I think with that thing, like, do you think they just have like the families in mind? Like, because we're definitely looking at that from like the adult only traveler
yes.
perspective, right? Like, never cruising with children.
Yes.
How we'd really like that. Like, I'm sure the reasoning behind it must be something to do with with it making more sense for family travelers somehow. I guess I
It
don't know.
must. It must, right? But I mean, I like the fact that it was all contained. I mean, I've cruised with kids, I think twice now. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. There's got to be a reason behind it from a family's perspective of why they have them all spaced out. But from an adult perspective, it
We
was
want a
difficult to,
one-stop shop. We want a
yeah,
one-stop shop.
I want to
We
just be
want
able
our
to
own
go and
area.
pop out, pop in, whatever. Um, and 1923, I did love that restaurant. I really
Mm.
loved that restaurant, of course. And I knew I was going to because, the nostalgia. I think our dinner was in the Walt side. Um, and yeah, it was phenomenal. And they did such a good job with like all of the drinks and the snacks and all those things being so well themed. It really was. The food was great. Like we really had no complaints. I loved it. Jeremy loved it. All of our friends loved it. Like it really was a good time.
Ooh.
And then that morning we got off the ship. We were smart. We got off like right away. Went to Fort Lauderdale Airport. Jeremy got on a flight home because he had been on a cruise on the Treasure with his family, dropped them at the airport, picked up a rental car, and then drove to Fort Lauderdale to meet me
That's
to go on the
awesome.
Destiny. So then we went back to Fort Lauderdale Airport. He got on a flight home, and I picked up a rental car because I was not leaving Florida without seeing Zootopia. Better together. So I picked up a
I
rental
was trying
car
to spit out what exactly that what expect the
and I
attraction was.
drove from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando by myself. I got to tell you, that car care center, Carrie, Alamo, amazing. I pulled in
Yeah.
there. They took the key from me in the parking lot. He's like, "Do you need a ride somewhere?" I said, "Yeah, Coronado." Before I could even turn around, the van was there to pick me up. They'd given me all the paperwork and I was on my way. I didn't even have to go inside the building. And I was on
That's
my way
awesome.
within 5 minutes. He dropped me at Coronado. So I had booked 5 nights at Coronado. Um, and in a preferred, because now I'm like, I can't get lost at Coronado again, in preferred. And yeah, I went to go see Better Together.
Better together.
Carrie, it's phenomenal.
Is it good?
It's as good as I had hoped it to be. It is so much fun. It is so full of joy. I did it twice.
Nice.
I just got off and then I was gonna wait in line to meet Judy and Nick, but the line was huge and it was really hot. So then, and I had just met them in EarMarked, so they would remember me. And so yeah, I went back on and did it twice, and it was phenomenal. I can't wait for you
That's
to
cool.
experience it. Yeah, and then I was there for 5 days, did Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot. I never even made it to Hollywood Studios. Um,
There's no Muppets there anymore, so like,
I know. So
unless
like,
you're
what's the
going for a
point,
carrot
right?
cake cookie, what's the big deal?
Like, what's the big deal? I did, I went around, took some pictures of the Christmas decorations because, there's Christmas trees everywhere. I did pick up a Zootopia popcorn bucket. Did manage to make it home in one piece. And then, yeah, the next thing you know, like my time is over and I'm on a plane on my way back home again.
Poof, here we are.
And then we're like, okay, we got to get a podcast recorded because people are going to think we've quit. And with all the travel, what happens is you end up getting sick. Um, we, I think what happens is we end up getting so run down, the two of us as
Hmm.
well, because you're go, go, go. And then it's like your body hits the wall and says, okay, I'm done. So I did lose my voice for a bit. Um, I've been, sucking on cough drops since as we've been recording this. But yeah, now we're home for a little while. So we should have no issues except for the fact that we're taking a break in December.
We're taking our annual Christmas break
Yes, so we
because
take
we
a
need to.
it's an annual break that we do in December to rejuvenate and replenish and give ourselves a bit of a break because things can get very crazy and I think we both deserve a little bit of a rest.
Being busy too. I got lots of stuff going on at the holidays, so everybody
Absolutely.
can take a break from their podcasting, listening to. I'm sure.
Well, and so many other podcasts have like, Christmas episodes and special episodes and bonus episodes. So we're not going to get in the middle of that. We'll just take a little break. And we decided that we would be back on January 7th. So that's when you'll have us back. Um, yeah, so hopefully you don't miss us too much. But Carrie,
Forget about us and forget
don't
about
forget
us.
us. Don't forget us. Carrie, we're at that time of the podcast, though. It's your last pixie dust of the year.
Oh,
Not to put any pressure on you, but what brought you joy I would say in the last 2 weeks or whatever, because we haven't recorded. So, what brought you pixie dust this week, Carrie?
oh, um,
How can you not know? Didn't you think of something before we started recording?
well, but it's not really this week. It's not. This is a while. It's a little while back, but I wasn't. Well, my pixie dust is that I fell in love with Palm
With Palm
Springs.
Springs.
But also that's like it's keeping me going right now. This is the memories of Palm Springs, those cacti and palm trees. But right before my trip, I got a really cool Garfield telephone, like the old one where it's like Garfield sleeping, and then you
Like
pick
the
up the handset
1980s one?
and his eyeballs open.
Oh my gosh.
So that's pretty joyful. Like that was my joy until I went to Palm Springs and then now move
That's
over
pretty
Garfield.
joyful. Yeah.
So that was some fun
Now,
pixie
can you
dust that
use it?
if I had a landline, I could, or
Oh,
else
but
I
you don't
could
have a
get it.
landline, right?
You could, if I, like, we do have a VoIP line, so like I could probably rig it up somehow to use it for that. But I don't really have room on my desk for it, so I sort of just have it on display. I have it actually down in my dining room. I have it on
It's a
display
display item.
because
Good.
that's what people, some people buy all kinds of fancy,
Yes.
linens and candles and tchotchkes and vases and things to maturely decorate their abode. My dining room, amongst other cat themed things, has my Garfield phone.
That's awesome.
So that brought me joy, and my new love interest, Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. Palm Springs.
Ah,
Now, are you ever going to be able to go back to Disneyland without going to Palm Springs, or is that going to be
like,
a
and
I
I'd
need
be
to
happy
tack
if,
it on?
like, I don't know. I do think that I would like to maybe try to figure out how to stay there in the upcoming winters for a little bit of time. Like it's not far away. But I think if I was traveling with somebody that was willing to go sit around in Palm Springs for a couple days, I definitely would go for sure. I just love it. I knew I was gonna love it. Um, yeah, so that's my pixie dust. I had not
That's
pixie dust. I had
awesome.
to bring my cat to the vet to get blood work, and it cost a whole bunch of money to find out that he's perfectly fine, which
Oh
is
no,
good pixie
that's
dust.
good
That my
pixie
little Prince
dust.
Charming's blood work came out, with the A pluses, but unfortunately, it costs like 300 something dollars to get
Oh
the
my
blood work done.
gosh.
Oh,
Why
I've
did you
done this
think he needed that?
because he's been losing weight.
Oh,
So, like, there could be reasons why there's a whole bunch of reasons why he could be losing weight, but generally his blood work all came back pretty darn, like, it didn't have any of the signs of the big things, like kidneys, didn't
right.
have thyroid, diabetes, like all the stuff that old cats get. He was fine.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Well,
pixie
that's
dust at my
good.
Prince Charming is pretty good. I'm probably going to do a few other little side follow-up tests to try to figure out why he might be losing a little bit of weight, but
As long
but
as
I
he's
guess
not
that's
on
my pixie.
Ozempic.
That's maybe he's been side ordering some kitty Ozempic on Amazon or something, and I haven't put two and two together.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so that's I guess pixie dust too. So there's my three. I did
There you
a
go.
few
Look at
pixie
you. You've been
dusts.
saving it up.
I'm saving it up. So what's your pixie dust?
My pixie dust, it's pretty good pixie dust, I think. I have learned, and I keep learning this lesson. The universe keeps teaching me. When you want something and you think, I'll just buy the knockoff version. And then
No.
you end up spending like it's half price. So you buy the knockoff version and then it's never as good. It's never as good. And I do this all the time because I try to save money. When really I should just buy the one I want at the beginning. So how exciting for me during the Friday sale that they had the cordless Dyson vacuum on sale.
I had no idea where you were going with this.
I was so excited. I could hear my nephew in my head saying, just treat yourself. Treat yourself. You deserve it. And I was like, okay, I got to do it. I got to do it because I've literally bought two knockoff versions of the Dyson cordless vacuum. I would have been the same price. So I finally and they're not good. They only work if you don't have carpet. And I have carpet
Mm.
everywhere. So I splurged and bought myself the Dyson
No, for
vacuum.
you.
I have a Dyson canister vacuum that I bought probably 12 or 15 years ago, but I have so many stairs in my house that it's really heavy carrying up and
Yeah.
down the stairs. And the last time I was vacuuming the stairs, I almost fell down the stairs trying to maneuver around the canister. So I was like, you know what, this is kind of dangerous. I should just save this for like those days that I need to do a deep clean. So yeah, I bought the cordless vacuum.
Ooh, well, whenever I come visit, you're gonna have to show me.
Oh my gosh, you're old when you're so excited. Like I was so excited that I splurged and bought myself a vacuum. Yeah, yeah.
For you. And your
Thank you.
carpets are gonna be happy.
They will. They will. I'm so excited. But yeah, so that was my pixie dust. Of course, with all of our travels, we're so blessed for the lives that we lead, and I'm very grateful for the positions that we're in, that we get to do all that stuff.
For sure.
And a lot of that too is because of the people that listen to us. So thank you guys very much for supporting us. It's been one heck of a 2025.
Hard to believe.
Isn't it? How are we in
Almost over.
December?
I don't know.
I don't know. But we're looking
Soon it'll
forward
be
to
a
a
new fresh year.
fresh year, 2026. Here we come. Thank you guys all so much for listening to us this year and supporting us as always. And we'll be back in January. And happy holidays and happy New Year
Merry
to
Christmas.
you.
Happy New Year's.
To all of you. Thank you again. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.